right, we have Brandon back.
Thanks for having me.
It's been a little bit.
A little while.
How's everything going?
Things are going pretty good. I kind of stopped following all the conspiracy bullshit. Just kept getting banned off everything over and over and over. Just taking too much time and energy, and just kind of took a step back and just been.
So you're done with the politics, done with the conspiracies for now?
Yeah, just been
working.
Yeah, just working and kind of trading stock. That's about it.
You're still playing with the stocks?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was playing some Tesla puts today. Dropped like $60. It was not bad.
I asked a couple other people, why do you think you put $1.5 billion into Bitcoin?
Because I think you could go to 100,000. I got my Bitcoin's doing all right too. So yeah.
I just have a negative opinion on fucking Bitcoin.
I still don't trust it, but it's doing all right so far with everything. Like, I bought it. I've already had my returns fully back from Bitcoin. Like, I bought in at Bitcoin when it was 11,000. So I've already had I sold half for like a $14,000 profit, and then I still have the other half, and the other half's like at 0.7 for like 40 grand right now, which is what it's worth. So it's already paid back dividends. I'm just kind of holding it on for now.
I had Alex Gregory in here, and he does it too. And he buys ones that give like really good dividends.
Yeah, there's an Algorand one, which is like still $1, and it pays like 6% APR or 7% APR.
Yeah, he was really good.
I've been learning more and more into the crypto because like I still don't trust it just with everything that it does with it. You know what I mean? Like, but slowly I'm starting to see returns back. I'm like, all right, I can get in with this. Like, crypto industry is kind of it's different.
Yeah, I think he said he bought. I could be wrong, but I think he said he was buying oil because even if they cut the oil eventually, like that plastic bottle, all this shit needs
it's all
oil.
made from oil.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so I mean, you're always
never
gonna need
go
oil.
away.
Like
No.
even if you stop it and knock it off, you're still doing the barbershop and you've seen it pick up and it's busier now than ever, right?
It's starting to pick up. Yeah, it's still not back to like where we were, but it's starting to be consistently busy every single day now. I just noticed more people on the roads, but honestly, it could be too. We're in Florida, and there's more people more than ever that are moving down here. Like, you can't even find a house to buy at all. Like, none of the realtors
real
can
estate
sell.
market's off the chain.
It's insane right now. Like, that's how you know when things get bad down here. That's when you know when things are bad around the rest of the world.
Yeah,
around the rest of the country, I should say.
And you're still doing the sativa and indica for your back?
Yeah, still smoking.
And
yeah.
if you didn't know, Brandon hurt his back really bad, refused to take pills, just dealt with it, could barely stand, went to Florida, got his medical card, tried the medical marijuana, and
just been doing it ever since, yeah.
Ever since you've been able to stand, cut hair all day, play on the computer. It's crazy.
I got an issue with my neck right now that I'm trying to work with right now. I got to see what's wrong with it. But that's the
I think that was the first interview that we ever did.
What was with
the marijuana? That it fit because I couldn't believe it. You know, I didn't know much about what it fully can do. And then when you said you couldn't even walk, and then you started smoking the sativa during the day, and
in the cut at night,
in the couch at night,
that
it fixed you
without any. It wouldn't say fix me. It just takes away the pain so you can get through.
It made you functional.
Yeah, function. Yeah, that's about it. So, but no, still going fine with all that. Just kind of laying low, to be honest with you, right now. It's like, after like that conspiracy shit consumed so much of my life. Like, it was like a breath of fresh air to kind of just like step away from all of it. Like, it was so much research day in and day out, like finding shit, like. Taking a step back from all of it, I was just like, all right, I need some break. You know what I mean? Some me time. Kind of focus on some other shit.
Now, what all did you get banned from?
I got banned from Instagram, Facebook, back in September, and then I got banned like right when Trump's Twitter got banned. Like I had like 5 Twitters banned at once, and then I like gave up after like the 14th or 15th Twitter being banned. Like, it was just so much work.
Were they catching your IP?
Yeah, whatever it was. Like, and like, it'd be like 2 or 3 days. Once I'd start an account, like, it would already start growing already, like pretty fast, and then banned. And then you'd have to restart again. And the people that were also talking about the conspiracy shit, they were getting banned. So then you have to refine like their new Twitter handle, and then it was just so much work over and over. I just kind of gave up on it.
So the first time you got banned, what did you say on Twitter that got you knocked off of Twitter?
The same day that Trump got banned is when all my Twitters got banned.
Oh, you only got banned when he got banned.
Yeah, but on Instagram and Facebook, I got banned when I was posting like coronavirus facts. That was back in September.
Like facts, like what?
Just like the facts of the actual like number facts of like how many deaths we had versus. I mean, if you look at it, we only had 54,000 more deaths, which is average growth for a country. You know what I mean? If we were in a pandemic, numbers would be plus 400, plus 500,000, which they weren't from 2019 into 2020. So I was posting things about that. You know what I mean? Like, and then videos of like empty hospitals that people were recording and other things like that. And then it was just like I went to go back onto Instagram and it was like banned.
I mean,
2
do you
hours
think
later.
anything justifiable that
Not
was
that I
like
know.
crossing the line at all?
Not that I know. I mean, it's freedom of speech. If you don't want to see it, you don't got to see it. To be honest with you, but it was banned and it's been like that ever since. So they said they would get back to me in 24 hours with a review when you log into my in my Instagram, and then when you click on it, you click OK. It says cancel or log out, and then you try to log out, and then it says, oh, try and go to the review center through your Facebooks, and then you try to go through your Facebook because they're linked together like the same company.
Well, they own each other, right?
Yeah.
Facebook owns what? Instagram, WhatsApp, and then they were about to open crypto. Facebook was about to do a crypto.
Yeah, their own cryptocurrency. Yeah.
Yeah.
But when you try to log in through my Facebook, it's the same credentials as my Instagram. It says, oh, user not found or user valid. But apparently what I know is my Facebook you can still go to it, but I just can't get into it.
So you can log in and look around?
No.
You can't do that either.
But you can, if you have a Facebook, you can look at my profile still, which is weird. Yeah, I just can't get into it.
Jesus.
Yeah. My mom was telling me about, like, I was like, I still have one. She was like, yeah. Like, something popped up onto it, which I can't get into any of it at all. So
I guess it's you're stuck with TikTok.
I don't use TikTok.
Or Snapchat.
Yeah, that's about it. I just got Snapchat.
Is that what you're messing with?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I just talk to my friends about that on that. That's about it. Like, I don't even get into any of the conspiracy shit no more. Unless it, like, comes back up. Like, but honestly, I just kind of took a full step back on it. It's mind draining, that's for sure. It's a lot to take in.
Can you go to Google and type in Facebook cryptocurrency? Do you know anything about that?
Yeah, I wouldn't trust it. Like,
I mean, I heard about it, and Ray, my friend who does credit repair, he's dealt with him. I don't know if you've dealt with him, but Rob has, and
Libra, that's what it was.
He was the one who was saying to like 16 days it's going to be available.
Yeah, I saw he said that.
I don't trust that. I don't trust no Facebook Libra.
Let's see what they're saying.
Well, it doesn't make sense what it would be used for anyway, which I don't.
Diem? Got the new name.
What's it called? Libra?
Diem.
Diem? The project will be stripped down version of the game plan.
That's weird.
Maybe blow that up a little bit, Rob. Yeah. Let's see what they're saying about this shit. Is it out yet?
But like, what would you use it for? They want to use it as a new global
Libra
currency.
cryptocurrency spearheaded by Facebook.
Which I don't even really trust the cryptocurrencies now. I'm just kind of trading them because they're making me money.
Look at this. Designed to reinforce its organizational independence as the ever-shrinking project seeks to regulatory approval. The cryptocurrency and body that organizes it will now go by the monkier Diem. Is that how you say it? Reflects the project's growing maturity and independence, said Diem associate Stuart Levy, whoever the hell that is. It's unclear. You want to read this, Rob? You better read it than me.
It's unclear how the new name will burnish the project's independence. Well, it's clear that Facebook hasn't gotten much love for Diem, which has changed in goals and scope since the association publicly launched in mid-2019. Partners have bolted from the project, deals have shifted, and legislators have criticized the plans. It's a project of the Diem Association, which Facebook originally co-founded as the Libra Association. So they switched the name from Libra to Diem.
Because it was...
Libra sounds better than Diem. Empowering billions of people, citing 1.7 billion adults without bank accounts who could use the currency.
I don't trust Facebook. I don't trust Mark Zuckerberg anyway, so I would never even get into it. It reminds me of like Dogecoin. It's like a fake crypto, which is like a fun crypto, which is kind of like a joke, but kind of became popular.
Well, it looks like they tried to run one before.
Yeah.
And it was called credits. For about 4 years as a way to make payments on games played within Facebook.
I mean, but the government's going to take control of this somehow, right? There's no way they're not going to take control
over
of this.
Bitcoin?
Yeah. There's no way.
I don't know. I think it won't. No one knows who made Bitcoin. That's the beauty of it. No one knows. So you can't control something off the internet because you can't get. And one, to own a Bitcoin, it has to be mined organically through algorithms that take time and like so much time, like supercomputers that take it.
Gotcha.
The thing that Bitcoin's coming into problem with right now is that the power usage to mine a coin now is outweighing how much its electricity costs are versus the value, which is what's driving the value up. There's only 21 million Bitcoins possible. And once that last one, that's the supply of all of them. That's about it. And I don't even know what number they're on.
See,
right
look,
now.
if you go back up there, Rob, it says, will Facebook have direct control over Diem? No, Facebook is one of the members of the Diem Association, the nonprofit that will serve as de facto, whatever that word is, monetary authority for currency. So basically, Diem's probably just an umbrella of Facebook, right?
Yeah.
They're really
That's what it
controlling
sounds like.
it, but
Yeah, they're just saying
it's a
like everything else.
yeah, it's bullshit.
Interesting.
So is that available now, or do they stop it?
I don't know if it's available or not. I haven't seen it on any of the crypto websites
Let me see. Hold on. Let's see.
at all. I think you can only get it through Facebook, but because I'm banned from Facebook, I kind of screw all of them. So
Well, they're at war with Apple right now. So, because Apple doesn't want them tracking. So then Facebook's
do.
coming back and saying, well, you're going to destroy small business. And Apple's saying, well, you're not going to track. It's going to be there. We're not moving it. So you can take Facebook off the App Store or you can leave it. But we're going to have a
you can go through a
pop-up.
web browser.
Yeah. So if you go on like Safari, it will pop up and say, do you want to be tracked? And if you say no, it doesn't allow Facebook to track you.
Here's
And-
where it's saying they want it to launch in 2021. So it doesn't say a month. It just says this is on CNBC. Let's see.
Yeah. We'll launch in 2021.
Yeah, it hasn't been released yet. They would have had news about it.
Yeah, I thought it was supposed to. I think they pushed it back, or Marcus said to hope the
It
regulators.
says
would-
Facebook-backed cryptocurrency efforts face huge criticism from global regulators.
So it looks like they're waiting on the regulators to
Yeah.
approve it.
And I don't really see any point in it. To be
Damn,
honest
will
with
change
you.
it.
No.
Well, the point is that they want to control everything. So now you got to buy coin from them. They make money off of that, and then
you
they
spend it on their website.
on their website, which gives them even more control.
Yeah.
Right.
Mhm.
So maybe
Which I'm sure you can start buying from the Facebook Marketplace. Like,
Yeah.
all right, like the stuff that they sell of boats, cars, and shit that are on there. You can pick that up, but I'd rather just link my credit card and just call it a day.
now. Do you think that's got to be public? That DM, right?
Oh yeah, it'll become public. That's why I know it hasn't been released yet. It would have been way more public.
So do you
by
think
now.
it probably is something to buy and then dump?
No, I wouldn't even touch it.
Well, you don't think everybody on Facebook's going to buy it real
No.
quick? No?
Mm-mm. I don't think people are still on board with crypto to begin with at all. Like people are on board with Bitcoin because it's proven, but there's so many different cryptos out there. There's thousands out there that just be created every day, which you don't even know what it really does. You know what I mean? It really doesn't have value yet, like Bitcoin does, and Bitcoin's just now starting to get the ball rolling. You know what I mean? And
John Boziak had said something really interesting about it. He was saying that, and I think Alex too, he was saying that if the way the inflation's going right now, that devalues the dollar.
Yeah.
Well, if you have Bitcoin and you go to cash out, you're going to cash out in dollar.
Yeah.
Right? So if the dollar's shit, the Bitcoin shit.
yeah, and
Unless everybody in the planet starts taking Bitcoin, which isn't going to happen.
which a lot of people are starting to now. They're starting to see what can actually happen with it. I
That's
still
some
don't trust it.
interesting
I
shit.
still think it could drop and be dumped big time. To be
Yeah.
honest with you, yeah. Which that scares me with I still think that this whole market's going to be in a big bubble. Which I got Tesla puts. I'm betting against Tesla to go down, so I'm hoping it goes down more.
Do you think it's going to go down?
I bet on it to go up, and I bet on it to go down.
He was on Joe Rogan not too long, I think a week ago.
Elon?
Yeah, because the power was out in Texas for a week, so there was
Okay.
nothing. He was the last one until the other day, and somehow they sped up production of the Roadster,
But they just knocked off their one Model Y car. They're stopped doing it anymore.
yeah, they're pushing to that S.
Yeah, which kind of
Yes.
stinks because that was one of their cost-efficient cars for like the average consumer versus that Model S starts at like 65, 70,000, which isn't
Yeah.
your average customer.
Well, I think
Which could hurt it.
they're trying to get more mileage out of it.
Yeah.
It's got all kinds of fucking bells and whistles. The thing's fucking crazy.
It's nice as shit. Yeah.
Yeah, the new Model S, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
The Plaid.
Yeah, I think 400 miles, 450 maybe,
I think it's 550. I think it's over 500.
over 500,
Yeah.
and 0 0 to 60 in like 2.1 seconds
Yeah.
on an electric car. That's crazy.
Yeah. And the sport one goes like 0 to 60 in like 1.9 seconds.
Yeah,
even
it's
faster.
4 seconds faster.
Yeah.
It was
It's
the
quick.
Roadster. Yeah, that's next year, I think. The end of this year or next year. That's a badass car.
Yeah, I like them. I like all their cars they're coming out with. I think the problem that they're having right now is lithium. They don't have enough lithium to mine for the batteries because
Yeah.
the EV demand is growing up so much. With all these car companies, you have like Lucid coming out, you have Neo coming out, you have
Porsche.
Porsche's coming out with all electric, Audi's
BMW.
coming. Yeah, they're all
Yeah.
starting to come into the EV market and try and catch up to them. So that's even more of a lithium shortage for everything, which I think they're trying to figure out other sources to create the batteries for right now
Yeah.
for these cars.
I don't know how the fuck he does it. SpaceX. I mean, I know he's got engineers behind
I think
it.
it'd be cool if he merges all the companies together.
Well,
one.
they would call it a monopoly probably.
Yeah, and having every sector.
Yeah, because I mean, that's why Facebook has WhatsApp under whatever they have it under, and then they have Instagram under Instagram, and like Google
Is under
is
Alphabet.
under Alphabet.
And Alphabet has a lot of
Alphabet's
things,
got 17 other umbrellas, just
Yeah.
like Pfizer, just like the medical company. I mean, there's just
Yeah.
they're all the same. It's just here, Brian. I'll give you 20%. Put it under you. You know what I mean?
Yep.
That's all the fuck it is.
What do you think Apple does? They're supposed to be coming out with their like car.
Yeah.
Who are they going to team up with? I keep hearing they said originally Hyundai or Kia. Then they said, well, maybe Volkswagen.
I think now they're working with Nissan.
But then Nissan said no because Apple basically wants to take over the full thing. They want to use them.
They want to use the whole car themselves. They don't want anybody in there.
And Nissan would do it, or one of them would do it because they get a lot of profit. But at the same time, I guess they get nothing back.
See who is Apple using to develop their car, their electric car? It's supposed to come out in 2024. It looks badass.
And it's
You see a picture of it?
no, I haven't.
Oh, it looks badass, boy.
Kia Motors.
Apple is
$4
said to be
trillion.
planning to invest $4 trillion, $3.6 billion in Kia Motors, with Kia set to manufacture the Apple car in its U.S. facility in Georgia.
I guess Kia stock went up, huh?
I would say so. Well, once they start manufacturing it is.
Kia has some nice cars. That new
Go to images. You got to see
that new
this fucking
Telluride
car.
thing is nice looking, man. That thing is. Yeah, I've seen that. I like that car.
Yeah,
How do you feel about the Apple being in the middle of it?
I
Pulling
think
up?
it's fucking badass.
You think it's cool?
Yeah. Can you imagine how sick that fucking car is going to be inside? And they've
Yeah,
waited this long to build it.
Yeah, I'm surprised they haven't started anything sooner with a electric car.
But if you notice what they do is they'll let Samsung come out with the flip, the folding phone.
I saw somebody for the
everything,
first time with the folding phone. It looked
and it's
weird.
and it's never perfected. So I think like Apple takes it, they fuck with it,
And
they
wait.
perfect it, they wait. Why don't you do this? Why doesn't Apple do that? They wait until it's nearly flawless, and then they make it, and then
Yeah.
they put it out. And then there's issues, but then they just update the hell out of it. But I think that's why they
They
wait.
gave you the 10 more versions of it in front
Yeah.
of it on top of it.
Because the 13 is going to be pretty much the same as this, just a little bit
This
of bells
11,
and
and this one's
whistles.
already outdated. They've already
Yeah.
had two since then.
The 14 is the one where it's going to be a big overhaul.
The 14.
The iPhone 14,
I
yeah.
hope they don't change up the charging cords again.
There's a render.
They've
Type
done that
in
a few times.
iPhone 14 render. It looks
Because now they
fucking
have all the
crazy.
adapters for everything, like the like your headphones, and it's more of a pain than a hassle anymore.
yeah. They're supposedly changing it to right there.
Bluetooth.
Or they're gonna make right there. That's supposedly. Who the fuck knows though? You know.
I saw someone with with a foldable iPhone in the shop the other day, and it was weird.
Yeah, that's what they're talking about for the iPhone 14.
That's weird looking.
And then you can flip it down and put it in your pocket. I mean, that'd be badass.
That's kind of weird looking, but well.
And they got, and see at the very
It's weird how
top.
they can make a screen bend like that and doesn't pop back up.
Well, again, I think that they let Samsung fuck up. Because remember,
Yeah.
they pulled the first one. And then they re-released it. But they probably figured out the hinge. And you can see that the Face ID on that is right there, up there at the very top. They took out the notch. And then in there is a thumb thing for your thumb. So it's also Face ID and thumb.
Kind of cool, I guess.
That's what they're saying the 14 is going to be like. But
But I don't see
Who
the
knows?
point of what's the point of it folding.
Just more convenient in the pocket.
Because they keep making the phones bigger
look
and
how
bigger
thin
now.
Look how thin it is. New design. I mean, that will
See,
sell.
I'd be
like
afraid.
crazy.
I'd be afraid you put that in your pocket, you sit down, snap, right
well,
away.
that's why you get Apple
Yeah.
Care for $99, and then you can get your $1,200, $1,600 fucking phone back. But
And
that's what they're
how
saying.
do you fix a shattered screen on that?
Well, supposedly,
I'm notorious for fixing shattered screens.
whatever they're saying that the 14, the glass or the OLED or whatever it is that they're using right
Mhm.
now, they're buying it from Samsung,
Okay.
and they have to buy it next year. But in 14, just like that M1 chip, they feel that they'll have they'll have it down where they can make their own screens.
Okay.
So that's probably why they're waiting. And within making their own screens, that's probably how it's able to flip, or fold
Yeah.
and not fuck up. You know what I mean? But I mean, that's a badass phone.
That's all right.
You don't like that? I'd buy that shit in a second. You like that?
I like it. Yeah.
I don't think I'd.
It's different.
I don't like the folding.
Don't you?
Mm-mm. If it was gonna fold, I would rather it slide up, an iPhone slide up, like the Sidekick,
Oh,
back
yeah?
from like 2008,
Yeah.
2009. That phone was badass.
Well, I mean,
yeah.
you got 2 years, so who knows what it'll actually be like? Who knows if we even look like that? But that's a pretty reliable.
Oh, yeah,
site,
picture.
though.
You think
Yeah.
you'll be able to do that? What's it called? A hologram? Do you think that'll eventually come on a phone? You see
Yeah.
Yeah, the hologram phones. Yeah, I think they will. Yeah.
I think they have them now. I think they're just pacing it. They're going step by step.
That would be cool as shit.
I think they have it now.
Anything pops up, you could see it through.
That'd be so awesome.
Yeah.
Like, I could talk to Tommy, but he could be popped up in front of me.
Yeah.
You would talk to me, and I'd be popped up in front.
I would
Like
bet
Star
you.
Wars.
I would bet you any
Just
money
drop
they
it
have
down
it
in the
now.
middle.
I bet you any money they have it now. But they're going to go through the process. Like, okay, here's the 11. Okay, here's the 12, and it's a little bit different. Blah blah blah. We're going to make all our money off that.
Well, they do full hologram concerts now, like
Yeah.
Michael Jackson.
Yeah,
Like, so you mean
that's
to tell me
right.
that, yeah,
Yeah.
they know how to do all that shit now.
Yeah. Hologram phones. Yeah. The fuck. No.
These aren't hologram. That's a razor.
That's right. That
Going
is
for $100,000.
Yeah.
They probably just don't. They're not.
Right. That's something.
See, there
So
you
they
go.
patent
Yeah.
it. So Samsung's going to be the first one to do it.
I mean, that's cool. Let me blow this image up.
That'd be pretty bad. That would be cool. I would get
I
that.
think that'd be sick. Hold on, let me bring on the other screen here.
Like, imagine watching a
Yeah. Now,
movie and it's all popping up kind of like that. That'd be pretty cool.
and that was posted in 18. So Samsung's going to come out with it first, and it'll probably be messed up. No offense to anybody who likes Samsung, but
Yeah.
I mean it will be decent. But
Yeah.
then you're probably talking 2025, something like that for Apple.
See, like that. That's what I'm saying. Like,
No, yeah, that's going to
Yeah.
happen.
That's sick.
Coming out of the home button.
That's
Yeah.
so cool. Yeah, that's so cool.
Maybe type in just for shits and giggles. Does Apple intend to release hologram phone? You think they'll do it? I mean, eventually, but
Down the road, yeah. 2030. Mm-hmm.
you think that long?
Yeah.
Because they'll probably do the flip first, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then they'll do it.
iPhone 20 concept. Holographic iPhone Apple.
Yeah, it's YouTube. We'll get killed.
Yeah, we can't kill it. We can't. Let's just see images.
Yeah.
Like, that's so fucking cool.
Yeah, look at that.
See, they're
Like,
saying
I
there.
think of it like Tony Stark
Yeah.
a little bit.
That's so cool.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to happen. It's just a matter of time.
Like, you could pull up, like, fucking math equations that pop in front of you.
Yeah.
And drag it around with your finger.
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah, I mean, they have it. They're just holding it.
Yeah. With any technology, they all have.
Yeah.
It's only coming. It's just a matter of the technology to provide it or create it.
Yeah, but that's what it's going to be. But that's the next one.
Hover cars, flying cars.
Elon said he's trying to make the new, I think it's the S-Class, hover.
Yeah, he wants to make it hover without any emissions or anything like
Yeah.
that. And I know he's coming out with a plane too. He wants to make like
He was talking, I was watching it
an
today.
all-electric plane
He said he doesn't have the brain capacity right now to do the plane.
to do a plane.
Because there's so much involved
There's
in
so
it.
much shit.
But what he was saying was if he could get to 100, because you go to like 30,000 feet. If you get to 100,000 feet, you don't need much power because you're not fighting gravity so
Gravity
much.
anymore, yeah.
So if he can get the plane to be able to get up that high,
It'd be like high orbital.
it's
Flights.
almost it's fucking right. But I mean, you can still
Yeah.
breathe. you
Yeah,
know what
yeah.
I mean?
It'd be all compression.
But
compression.
but that
and
bitch could
everything.
fly. But he said right now he just doesn't have the time for it. and maybe he would
I
consider
guarantee
looking
you
into
the
it.
flights would be faster too if you go that high because you're kind of going up like this, and as the world's already spinning, you kind of drop down to whatever it's at, and you kind of come down, and that's how you kill. That's because the Earth's spinning thousands of miles an hour. When you're going up, the Earth's still spinning whether you're there or not. So when you come back down, it could be changing how long the flights are. I mean, think about going from New York to London in 3 hours instead of a 9-hour flight like it normally is. You know what I mean? Because you're going up so much higher. Earth's already spinning.
Blasting.
Yeah.
I would trust the Tesla plane over the Boeings, man. Did you see the Boeing 7?
I don't know. I think that actually is good publicity. It landed with one engine still, so that actually makes me feel a little bit safer.
What happened with that?
The engine fucking
blew up,
and they had dropped fucking pieces in Colorado. So people are like walking their dog, and
Yeah.
a fucking engine falls from the sky. and,
like the big
lands.
circle, and I mean that's like a 7-foot circle, like circumference. That thing was huge.
I'm sure if you got hit by that, you'd be dead.
Oh, they went through someone's house and went like right through the middle of
Went to
someone.
their house?
Yeah, landed right in their kitchen. It was like a piece of like some of the rubble, and like
I didn't know.
people were on the plane and they were taking videos of it, and the whole entire engine was on fire, like
What the
actually on
fuck?
fire. Yeah, it was pretty crazy.
And I'm sorry, where did this happen at?
Colorado.
Over Colorado. Look, that's the video right there.
Yeah, you can do CNN.
Yeah, that's the engine. And then it fucking fell off.
Yeah, so all those pieces fell off onto the ground.
This big fucking thing. Look at that. Oh yeah, there it is. In the fucking.
Yeah, look how
at
big
the-
that
look
piece
next to
is.
Look at next to the truck.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, that's a lot bigger than 7 feet. That's like
Look at that. Holy.
that's how you realize the size of those engines.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it's next to a pickup truck.
There you go. Look at that.
What is that, the engine?
That's
Yeah.
the circle around it.
Front of
Yeah.
I guess, yeah.
Jesus. And it still landed?
Yeah. There's the pieces around it. That's like the back part of it. Look at that thing. Woo. I'd be scared shitless
Same
if I
here.
was on that
I
plane.
hate flying anyway. I'd be fucking more scared. Holy shit. Fuck yeah.
Did they ever find out what happened to the plane that it?
I don't
I
know.
think they're still doing like.
So what? One of the engines burned out, and that was it.
They still were able to land and fly in and everything.
Did both of them burn out, or just one?
Not just one.
But they've had their issues with that Boeing 777.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. That's the one that's been keeping them up for like a few years, to be honest. But I don't know how do you do well on every plane, but then this one just gets you?
That's what I'm
Like,
saying. I don't
what are you
understand.
doing wrong? I don't understand what you're doing wrong.
I don't get it.
Because they keep creating a plane, and then it just, I mean, the other ones were falling out of the sky, which was even scarier, which that's worse than falling out of the sky. You just, boop,
That's what I'm saying.
everything electronic goes, boom, you're dead.
These planes like this keeps happening with this Boeing 777. Can you imagine if somebody tells you, hey, you're going to be flying, you're going to California today, and you're flying on a Boeing 777? I'd shit my pants. I'd shit my pants. Crazy shit.
Fuck that. Go to Earth2. So now let me
Alright.
explain to you what this is.
Okay.
Okay. So Dan Wise came in here. Good guy, RDAP Dan.
Okay.
Shout out to him. Check out his YouTube channel. He's in here a lot too. And he was telling Rob and I about this Earth2 thing. And the way it was presented to me, Rob, tell me if I misunderstood, was you can go on here and there's land all over the world. And you can buy the land like from here. Say it's 20K. You drop 20K now, you own that land. The way it was explained to me, maybe I misunderstood him, you know, I'm an idiot, was that that it was actually land, like real land. Then you sit on it, and then eventually somebody comes and says, look, I want to build a, CVS on this land. Then they buy the land from you and you get paid.
Okay.
Okay? So
Okay,
now, before
I
I
can get
tell
in
you
with this.
anything, go to buy land.
Okay, we're going to buy land.
And you see they got the fucking
Yeah, I was saying what the
The-
percentages
the whole
are.
shit across the thing.
That's,
So then what was it? Market. Okay, so how'd this go?
marketplace.
Yeah. Okay, so you could buy, like view that one in like Hong Kong airport. You can view. Okay, so I don't know what the hell you're buying
So you're
here.
buying that grid. Remember, it's a grid. So you're buying a grid. So you would own this little
Square of
square.
Hong Kong Airport.
Okay. And then there's leaderboards, which then this is where we start to figure out that this is right, Tommy. This is where you found out this is.
Well, John, I think so. So you have like a leaderboard. I guess this is how much they've earned. Is that what it is, Rob?
Yeah.
Highest net worth.
But it's a game, basically.
So I'm thinking that this shit's real, right? Because buy fucking land, like red. What was it? Red you could buy, or like that's America. Click on one of the American ones. Yeah. So yeah, details. Okay. So here you're buying.
It's not for sale.
It's not for sale. Okay.
Sounds like my website.
But yeah, I mean, what the fuck? So anyway, so you go on this shit. What's one for sale? Just to show it.
How do we do that?
Buy land. It. I was dead set that this was like a good details.
It's real?
Rob, did you think it was real?
The way it was explained, it sounded like you're literally buying land, and that land, because no one technically owns it. It's there, but nobody has owned it.
Yeah.
So you were going to buy the land, right, like Tommy said, and then if they wanted to put a CVS, they would have to contact you to buy the land. But it's like a virtual game, but people are investing money into.
But you can actually make real money off of it.
This is like a real Minecraft.
I feel like if I ever bought, so people are buying fake land that
Correct.
is not actually theirs, but they
Correct.
can buy it for more. And that, what the fuck?
Correct. And they're making. That's what I said. I give it to whoever created this. I give it to them because they're making fucking money.
Because look, they're
They're
selling,
probably making a percentage of
right
every single
there's
thing that's fake.
14,000. It's just virtual. It's like that thing called Big O.
So how much money do I get when I start off?
I have no. I think you have to put in what you want. Like,
Yeah, like you.
So that's actually a real 14,000. That's not a.
Yeah, no,
fake.
that's not a
I think
bullshit.
so, yeah.
That's a euro 14,000, which is
So that's
more
probably
than
16,000.
Yeah,
That's probably
right.
16, 17,000.
Not for sale, but like you see, like you can bid, blah 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 blah.
Improvement fee. What? Like what?
Like go to details. What does it say in fucking details? See, it actually has a fucking address. 1900. I mean, or
Owned by Mr. Dirty Fresh.
Mount View, California.
But
Like-
yeah, it's fucked up. It's so weird.
So he
purchased
bought it
for
for
$158, and now it's worth $678.
current market value up 3. He's holding it right now. I mean, I don't know.
Go to the marketplace. So click on one to buy. Just so you would buy. All right,
So there's 126 tiles out of 750 selected. 5,000. So the total would be 5,000 for that one, I guess.
Coupon? It's weird.
Hong Kong.
yeah. I don't get what these bids are for. This is still confusing to me. Because how's he buying it from Hong Kong? But I don't know. I feel like somebody already owns that land.
Hey, what did we Google the last time? We said Earth2. Something like that. Let's see. Futuristic concept for a second Earth, a metaverse between virtual and physical reality in which real-world geolocations on a section map correspond to user-generated digital virtual environments. These environments can be owned, bought, sold in the near future, deeply customized.
Go to people also asked.
Is Earth2 a good investment? To put it bluntly, Earth2 is nowhere near as good of investment as doubling down on Bitcoin at this point in time. However, as long-term investment, it might actually have an edge over its cryptocurrency brothers and sisters, and there is a good reason for that. Why is that?
I'm gonna have to look into this. Come back.
Is Earth2 a good investment? Let's check that one out, and then we'll get away from this shit.
Okay, let's talk about money investing in digital goods. I'll blow it up more. Hold on.
Yeah, whoever came up with it is a monster.
This article might not be like Earth2 is nowhere near as good of an investment as doubling down on Bitcoin at this point in time. However, a long-term investment may actually have an edge over its cryptocurrency brothers and sisters, and there's a good reason for that. Virtual goods have become commodities in most games. We have all become customized to buying upgrades for our avatars or new Pokeballs. Yet most virtual goods only serve as a short-term means to an end. They help you catch a certain Pokemon, gain an upgrade in gear, or buy something of its personal value to us. This is different. A virtual good that you can purchase on the platform. An actual piece of land. Tiles are 10 by 10 meter squared pieces on planet Earth that can be bought with whatever that is. You can buy a small piece of land for somewhere between 50 cents and $1.50 in some locations.
So, I mean, I don't know. It's one of. It seems now that I'm looking at it a little bit more. I mean, if you got a couple bucks to play around with, I don't think it's a terrible idea. I mean, people are buying it. I mean, they're buying and selling. I mean,
I won't understand some of this virtual stuff.
yeah. I mean, it's just like it's a real Minecraft, is what it is. You know.
Imagine you buy a piece of land in the desert and gold or oil is found on your land. Whatever controls your resources. Scroll down a little bit more.
It's interesting. Wonder who owns this shit. It's quite simply, really, when you, as I do, believe that Earth2 is going to be a big thing, then you get on board now. Land will only get more expensive the more is sold. Besides, you will be able to reap the benefits of owning the land in form of taxes when you have it. This will give you a natural return on investment without doing a thing. Yet at the end of the day, you have to be a good trader to make some money on the platform. It's fun to own one tile, maybe your own house, apartment, but that is not going to get you very far. As long as there are sufficient tiles available, it's highly unlikely that someone will want to purchase your single tile. My advice, invest that what you can afford to lose. Buy land that has potential to become important in the game. I think that areas with high population density and lots of advertising opportunities have the highest potential, blah, 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 blah.
Crazy. Yeah, but someone's going to come to my door and be like, I own your house. Like, what?
Yeah.
I bought it on Earth 2.
Yeah, I
Get
bought it
out.
on Earth too.
You have 48 hours. Get out.
Yeah, what the fuck? I don't know. Would you get into that?
I don't know. No.
Not for you.
I'd have to look into it, but it seems I don't trust my money with that.
So
to
it
be
seems
honest with
scammy to you?
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
think it's scammy?
I don't know how much I believe in it.
I think it's one of those things where it could like die out real quick.
Unless there's
or
actually a
it could
deed
hit.
coming with it.
Yeah.
That is from government paper that says I own the land. I don't trust the fake one. Because then I'll create one and say, hey, all this land is this and pay me the money.
Well, they made it good though, man. They got the whole thing going across
I know,
the top.
they do have
Holy
that.
shit.
They made it legit like you can like you're actually buying land, which I think that's their main goal of how to get people for it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So I wanted to go to the photos. But yeah, the shit that you just gotta get out of full screen. The thing that these people come up with, go to steps to sell your business. That one right there. Josh Sagman was in, big time guy, and he does this stuff. He's with Trans World,
Okay.
and I just wanted to show you what he had. You know, business evaluation, prepare financials, find a business broker, executive summary, listing, negotiations, close the deal. This guy was a monster.
Yeah. What
Yeah.
business was he selling?
He don't have. I don't think he's selling anything under $1 million. Commercial
Alright.
property, but
Oh,
I mean
yeah.
he'll do smaller things. But I don't want to speak for him. Not for that guy.
Let him come on here and
Yeah.
tell himself.
So you never heard of Bob Lazar?
No.
Okay, so Bob Lazar was a guy. I watched the documentary last night, and I also saw him on Rogan. He was a guy that he was like a nutcase.
Okay.
He had a truck. He built a car with a jet engine on the back, a bike with a jet engine on the back of it.
All right.
At like 14. I'm off on the ages and everything else, but he built it young. Then he built a car with a jet engine, like flags everywhere, like nuts. He went to MIT. Then he went to some other crazy school. Then he was recruited basically by Area 51, but to go to S4, which was another secret like area.
Mm-hmm.
So they pulled him in, blah, 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 blah. They take him through the steps. Now, remember, they know he's nuts. He's out of his, he's a little off.
Yeah.
Right? Extremely smart, but off. So they pull him in, and his job was that he's saying that, and there's pretty much record of it now, that they have 7 craft at S4. And his job was to take one of them and try to reverse engineer it. But he was there 4 or 5 years, 6 years, and he couldn't do it because the craft that they used, it basically defied gravity.
Okay.
And it was this is 1989, 88.
So you can't even
80,
imagine the
80.
technology they
Right.
have now.
So this is 88 and 89. We have pictures of it. And there was a like the chemical thing, like the chemical chart.
Okay.
In that craft, they called it 115. But it wasn't on the chart then. So nobody believed them, blah, 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 blah. Well, years later, 115 is now on the chart. And whatever this 115 is, that's part of one of the chemicals or whatever you want to call
That they found off of the craft.
it. Yeah, that makes it move. But still, it somehow defies gravity. So propulsion. So nothing's coming out of the back.
It just moves anywhere it can go.
It just moves. It zigzags. It tic-tacs. It can go through anything. So basically, it can, as crazy as this sounds, this table's wood, right?
Yeah.
It can get through the table. It's able to do that with the technology that they have.
Wow.
So he got the opportunity to take it totally apart, put it back together to try to reverse engineer it, and we just don't have. We don't have it.
Technology,
We
yeah.
don't have the material to do such a thing.
Mhm.
Now this is '89, so now he decides, like you're only there so long. So he tried to reverse engineer for 4 to 6 years. He couldn't do it. Okay, time to go. Well, when he leaves, it's driving him nuts because he's a pure scientist.
Mhm.
So he wants the science community to have access to this. So it's not just him and one other top guy doing it.
He wants everybody to know about
He wants
it.
like the heavy hitters, like Neil, whatever, Neil's, I forget his name, he's on Rogan all the time. Brian, these heavy hitters that this is what they do all day long.
Okay.
So he doesn't care about space, aliens, shit like that. He's just a fucking scientist. So he was upset that it wasn't being released to other scientists because it could change the whole world. Because you could defy gravity.
Yeah.
Cars are done. There's no more cars.
That's the thing. The government keeps all the secrets from the people from knowing.
Right. So there's no more car. This isn't conspiracy. This is fact.
No. Yeah.
So now there's no more cars. Planes are different. The whole fucking economy, everything changes. Some good, some bad, whatever. But you can definitely get the hell around real quick. It would just change everything.
Yeah.
You got to watch the documentary.
Okay.
So now he goes on public TV because again, he's a scientist. And I guess they got word that he was going to go on public TV. They wiped his entire background. MIT,
Of everything.
the college, anything that he did was wiped.
Okay.
So when they tried to validate what he was saying,
You couldn't-
there was no record. So now you see a goofy-looking guy, right, with
Who sounds
glasses out to
crazy.
here. He put a jet engine on a fucking bicycle. Then he put one on a fucking car. So with like crazy flags and shit like that on it. So who better to pick so that when he leaves, if he goes to try to talk, you
Yeah.
can easily discredit him and say he's
Yep.
nuts, right? Well, what happened was he had gotten interviewed by a good reporter, and the reporter did heavy research, went and talked to people. Well, we found newspaper articles that said like Bob Lazar accomplished this in 1985 at MIT. It was in
Okay.
the newspaper. Then there's a picture of like the class of 1986
And
in
he's
like
in it.
like the Daily News. He's there. Then the other school, I forget what it was called. I don't want to mumble jumble it, but again, there was newspaper articles of things that he accomplished that proves that he was there.
Yeah. Like he's not bullshitting.
Right,
Yeah.
because I mean it's in the fucking newspaper.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? But they wiped it all.
Okay.
So he got death threats, everything. I mean everything you can. I mean the guy went through hell. You know.
Oh, they're gonna take you down any which way possible.
So
from any of that.
So in the documentary, the lady says, "Well, why are you doing this interview? You already got death threats or whatever." And he's like, "Well, this is my, what do you call it? What do you call it when you know when you're worried about getting killed? Like this is my proof. Like so, I know I'm gonna get shot tomorrow. I go on national TV and I say, look, they're after me. They're gonna kill me. That's recorded. That's on tape. And then it happens. What's that called?
A eulogy? I don't know.
No, it's like his
Manifesto?
like his backup. Like his backup.
Like
It's like if
that's
he gets killed tomorrow, he's recorded
Manifesto.
live that this is what happened. They're after him, whatever. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So here he is now. This is 80. You're talking 30 years later. In a picture from the documentary, he's drawing what he worked on. Go to the one before it, I think. So that's the only picture that he drew on a napkin in 1989, I believe.
And that was drawn in 2016.
2016.
Yeah.
Okay, and that's what he had seen. That's what he took apart. And those three things there at the bottom, they're the things that push gravity both ways. So the way he
Can
explained
warp
it was like you take two magnets and you go like this, and eventually you could push them together. But whatever this shit has, it's so strong you can't get it together.
So it pushes it off the ground.
Yeah, it won't go. Like you can't do it. It's
Mhm.
like they hooked it up to like a machine that could push tons.
I'm gonna have to watch this when I get home
tons of
tonight.
power, and they could not move the the piece. It just
It
couldn't do it.
yeah.
Which would be the push and the
Which is
zigzag
where it
and
sends it,
everything
because now
else.
it's just hovering over the ground and being able to go any which way possible on
Right.
the turn of a dime.
I think there. Go to another
Well,
picture.
wasn't it last year the Air Force came clean and said there has been an unidentified aerial phenomenon, which was like
Yeah.
A or UAP or something like that. It was
See, now that's the original one. So
okay.
the wave
gravity
guy,
amplifier
the
was-
gravity, the reactor, and the gravity amplifiers is what he worked on, and there's nothing even close, even now,
No.
to what they have.
Well, I've seen some UFO videos of like some they look pretty
Yeah.
legit videos of people taking pictures around the world.
Well, pilots came out and they couldn't. It beat the radar.
Yeah, they were saying the
lost
same
it.
thing of how fast it moved. Like
Yeah.
even Air Force pilots that they saw up in the air, and they were
Yeah.
never allowed to talk about it. And now
Yeah.
they released some of it,
Why?
which added to all the craziness last year.
I think the last guy allowed them to do it. I think there's one more. If not, go back to the browser. No. Okay, go back to the browser. I mean, it's crazy. So go to right there he is. Blow that up.
Okay.
So, not that. I mean the like just Command Plus. So I mean you can see it's right here. Who claims to have been hired in the late 1980s to reverse engineer extraterrestrial technology. What he described as secret site as S4. Now, at the time they said that there was no S4. Now they've admitted, like 2 or 3 years ago, that there is an S4.
Mhm.
But at the time when he came out with this, they said there was no S4. So, I mean, it just adds up over time.
U.S. government briefing that described alien involvement in human affairs over the past 10,000 years. See, I think that there's aliens among us. They just won't communicate with us until we have the technology to get to them first. That's in my opinion about what I think about it.
You know what's funny as fuck? It
I
even
think they're
shows.
just watching, and they're just they haven't gotten to our level yet of human sophistication, human brain power, the intelligence level for them to even, you know what I mean? Like they're still squabbling over oil, and they're like they don't even know what this technology could actually do. I'm gonna watch this.
So now, here's
didn't know this was
what's
on.
funny. It's even in the documentary. So in 2006, he's away, he's out. He got arrested for a prostitution. He was making a brothel. Brothel. He was making a brothel. He got arrested and got probation for that shit.
Oh my god!
So this guy's a genius, working on, extraterrestrial spacecraft, and he's opening up a brothel and gets clocked, and he got probation. And what they were saying was, if he didn't go to MIT, he didn't go to the other school that I don't want to mumble jumble, and he didn't work at S41, now's the time to come clean because he was looking at jail time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And when they couldn't find any record on him. So when he was in court, he's like, no, I went to MIT, I worked at S4, I was at this other college, blah, blah, blah. He stuck to his guns.
And they just let him out.
Well, no,
Good for
I
him.
mean, he got probation for a long time, but so here,
news station interviewed him, I guess.
hit close ad. Yeah, you can play this.
Anonymous man who made some really astonishing claims. He
Turn that
alleged
up all the way.
U.S. military was secretly studying alien technology out in the Nevada desert near a base that is now very well known all over the world, Area 51.
A lot has changed in the decades since Bob Lazar first told this wild story. The Pentagon recently admitted that it really has been secretly studying UFOs and that it wanted to figure out and duplicate that technology.
George Knapp looks back at that 1989 interview that started a whole new conversation.
It's totally impossible. The propulsion system is a gravity propulsion system. The power source is an antimatter reactor. This technology does not exist at all.
The claims sounded like Hollywood sci-fi. Months later, when his identity was revealed, Bob Lazar said he worked at a secret facility near Groom Lake where alien technology was being reverse engineered, that is, taken apart to figure out how it worked and whether the Pentagon could duplicate it. This is the simple drawing he made at the time.
Here now, I had access and was permitted
And he's saying
to
this in
view and look
1989.
at the operation
Yeah, this
above this main level with the gravity amplifiers
30 years ago.
and the level below.
The premise seems less preposterous now. In a new documentary about Lazar, he describes in detail the spacecraft he worked on 30 years ago.
The craft that I worked on, that when it's going to travel a long distance, that is how it operates. It flies along and it puts its belly to the target and then brings all the amplifiers to power, and it shoots off in that direction. It doesn't fly as it would in the science fiction movies. It flies with the belly, the bottom forward.
If the description of a spacecraft tilting sounds familiar, take a look
That's
at
what he
the
was talking
so-called
about,
gimbal
right there.
UFO, a video released by the Pentagon in 2017. Naval pilots
They can't
encountered
follow
a
it.
fleet of these
No,
unknown
they couldn't catch up to
craft
that.
off the coast of Florida in 2015,
It's off
and
the
have
coast of
since
Florida,
had
too.
dozens of similar encounters. The spike in UFO incidents prompted a recent policy
they
change
can't
by the
keep track
Navy,
of the
which
fucking
announced
thing.
it wants to encourage its pilots to report future incidents. Pentagon
That bitch
officials
is moving.
reluctantly admitted
Yeah.
to
See
the
that
New
fucking
York
thing?
And
Times
with their
17
type of
months
technology
ago
that they
that
have
the
to lock on
military
something
has
for it to move that
secretly
quick is
studied
that's insane.
UFO incidents, in part so it might figure out the technology.
In the gimbal video, there's a mechanistic turn against the wind without deceleration. So we have a craft without rotors, without heat signatures, without plumes, without tail fins, and certainly no tail number, moving in a way that is counterintuitive to our own aeronautics. When Bob saw that, he came to the conclusion
Look it upside
this
down.
has
That's
to be
crazy.
a gravity-propelled craft.
And it kind of looks like what he
That
drew.
It does mimic exactly the propulsion system that Bob Lazar described.
This story is extraordinary.
Jeremy Corbell directed the Lazar documentary, but he also broke the story about another now famous UFO incident, the 2004 Tic Tac encounter.
Yeah, that's the Tic
Navy
Tac.
pilot
Remember
who
we keep talking
engaged
about
the
that?
Tic Tac, Black Aces commander Dave Fravor, has said he doesn't believe the astonishing craft was made on Earth, that the propulsion might be anti-gravity. When Lazar was shown the Tic Tac video for the first time, it immediately reminded him of the sport model, his name for the craft stashed in the desert.
There's no question in my mind. I mean, I'm virtually certain that's the way the craft operated, and that uses close to or the exact same propulsion system.
Former Pentagon intelligence officer
There's no
Lou
coincidences in that type of
Elizondo
thing.
was
This
in
is
charge of ATIP,
not
the
that
secret
this guy, the
Pentagon
other
study.
guy. He's
He
the
told
one who
us
kept
one goal
digging.
of the project was to determine the physics of UFOs, how they can achieve the seemingly impossible. The
Look at that
military
thing.
came
I
to
know.
believe the craft relied on special
little
metamaterials,
dot in the
stuff
left.
that can't be made with known technology. Lazar made similar claims decades ago and was ridiculed. Now the Pentagon is on the same page.
Where the study of UFOs did not end in 1969 with Project Blue Book. In fact, that was a lie, and it is now an admitted lie by our own Pentagon. We are living in a world where it is understood that there are craft technologically advanced from unknown origin that are performing maneuvers that far exceed anything of human technology.
I can't get over that
This has been
fucking
going
thing.
on a long time, and our government
I mean, that thing
has been
is flying.
studying
Look
it.
at that.
George Knapp,
Brandon, look
News
at
Now.
that. Yeah, you're not
As
going
always,
to
we have
stand on that,
posted
bro.
additional links and
Now that's crazy.
Yeah. I'm going to watch a documentary when I get home.
Yeah, it's on Netflix. So if you
Yeah,
got Netflix,
I didn't
it's
even know it
free.
was on
Yeah,
there. I'm
just
gonna
type
watch it
in
now.
Bob Lazar.
Yeah.
BOBLA.
Oh, I'm interested to watch that now.
Yeah.
Really interested.
Yeah, that's what it's called. Bob Lazar, Area 51
flying
Flying Saucers.
Okay.
I didn't watch this yet either. I'm watching this tonight.
Yeah,
I'm definitely watching this.
I'm telling you, it will fuck you up. And you could the thing is that if if a person says something 30 years ago, and then says the exact same thing, word by word,
It's true.
multiple times over 30 years, because this kept coming up. Every 5 years it would come up. Somebody would want to know. So for 30 years straight, the story never changed. No add-ons, I remember this.
Yeah.
When you watch it, you'll see he took, 12 lie detector tests, and then when he passed the lie detector test, they sent it to a third party, like the best of the best, to evaluate their evaluation, and he passed them all.
Yeah.
Every one of them.
No, and the fact that that video corresponds with what he said 30 years ago only shows that it's true.
Yeah,
And I've always believed in aliens my whole life. Like
Yeah.
I always, there's no way we're the only people around this world.
Elon doesn't
No
think
way.
that there are any.
He's
And
either
I was
bullshitting or
shocked when
not.
he said that. I was shocked that he.
It depends on probably when he's smoking the night.
Well,
He's
he
always
said
smoking
that
something.
there's absolutely no sign of any type of aliens, but
I believe there is.
he's been up there, but I don't know.
They're just got the Mars
Yeah, it just landed, right?
Yeah, they sent back the first sound. Or
I guarantee you he's one of those ones that he's got to be hush-hush on what he knows, or he can get in big trouble. They'll shut you up.
Yeah, but I mean, he sounded pretty serious because he said that there's no signals, no nothing.
I still don't know how much I believe with him. You know what I mean?
I wish Rogan would have asked him, well, what do you think about Bob Lazar? But he didn't ask him that.
That'd be a good question.
Yeah.
We got to get Bob Lazar on here.
Yeah, right. That guy don't want to talk to anybody. I don't even know how he did this. I mean, they went after his wife. They threatened his wife.
Oh, they try and destroy you down from everything just to say that it's a lie.
Like
They'll
you were
try
talking about with the social media and the things you were posting, and you think maybe
They'll
somebody
shut you
broke in
down.
your house.
They'll shut you
This
down.
guy's coming out saying, look, there's spacecraft. And
Yeah.
then he might have saw a replica of an alien. Or,
And the government
or
only
whatever.
comes after you if it's actually true.
Yeah.
If he was just some crazy guy saying it, they know that he worked with them. That's why they would be saying that. Or else he would just be some crazy random guy just spewing bullshit
right,
on the
'cause
street.
why waste
yeah.
the time to wipe your entire
Exactly.
record? You know, where
Yeah.
the courts can't even find it. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
he's like a whole new person. No credit, no nothing, nothing at all.
And when you watch it, you can tell he's just, I don't know. You can just
Well,
tell
when you
he's
see the
not
types
that
of things,
type of guy.
you guarantee you see the types of things of alien craft that changes your whole mental state. At
Yeah.
that point, you're like, we're not the only people. You know what I mean? Imagine seeing that
Right.
face to face. You can only imagine about it, but imagine really actually seeing a spacecraft that he's seen.
And take it apart.
Yeah.
And then and like I was saying earlier, and what got him so upset to go on national TV and say the hell with it was that because he's a pure scientist. He's not interested
He doesn't
in
follow about facts or something.
Yeah, he doesn't care about aliens. He doesn't care about that he came from space. He cares about the science in it.
Yeah.
And it pissed him off that they keep this away from everybody
general
when there's a
public.
huge fucking science community trying to figure out things, and they might have the technology. You give this to 20 of these monsters.
They could probably know what to do. Yeah.
I mean, over in 10 years, they could figure it out.
And that's the thing. They compartmentalize everything in the government where everything's so secret now. Like, they'll use that technology. Like, that's how they found all the quantum technology for cell phones and everything. That big push through with that. That's why when they were trying to kill Osama bin Laden, they went back to destroy that helicopter because it was a helicopter that made no sound at all. So it could fly in. And they reverse engineer that shit, and then they give it what they use it in the military. You know what I mean? Use it in to have an upper edge on somebody. Imagine helicopters flying in with armed special troops that you have no sound of even it coming.
They had a silence helicopter?
Yeah, it made like no sound at all, and that was the one that they sent over, but it crashed, and they had to go back to actually destroy the aircraft because they're afraid the Russians were going to get their hands on it, or Chinese were going to get their hands on it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know.
Yeah, look into that.
Yeah.
Mhm. It's like a full blacked out helicopter. It's pretty different than anything you've ever seen before.
How in the hell would you quiet those?
I
I don't know how you
exactly.
would do that. Well, maybe you
Exactly.
took something from this shit.
They've been
you know?
they've been doing that for years. That's where I think most of our technology comes from. Is whatever they try and show you, they're already 20 years ahead of that already, in my
Yeah.
opinion.
And the thing is, when you watch him, even if you think he is full of shit,
I don't think. No, I don't believe that.
I'm just saying, like somebody in general. The problem is that in 1986, 87, you'll see it in the documentary. He's saying S4, 115, this propulsion thing, this thing, that thing, this
Yeah.
thing, that thing. Well, now 30 years later, they've admitted, and you can see on a map where S4 is. But for 15 years, no, there's
You
no
couldn't-
S4.
Yeah.
But he said this way back then. He said there's a molecule. He said that there's a molecule, they called it 115. No sign of any 115. 10, 15 years later, on the molecule chart, 115, right?
Yeah.
And then it just, one thing after another, things that he said 30 years ago just keep coming out to the point where pretty much everything he said was accurate.
I believe, yeah.
It just didn't come out. And that's when it's tough to say, no, he's full of shit. Even if you think he is, everything he said has come true.
Yeah.
And it's too
Eerie, too coincidental.
But people don't want to believe it. I think people don't want to
can't
believe
handle it. That's why they try and keep things down like that.
They're afraid of, but the technology.
Because it would destroy everyone's faith in God or anything like that. Because everything they've known to believe, there's actually other. I mean, people who are deep into that, they don't believe any other human being but one higher up, and that's it. Imagine these people coming around. They're 8 foot, 9 foot. You don't even know what. People have their general idea of what an alien is, but it could look completely different from what you think of. You know what I mean? Like the little smiley face with the big eyes and the mouth, and they're long, and they could be completely different looking than that. You know what I mean? As a extraterrestrial, it can be anything.
And in the movie, he suggests that there's not actually aliens in the spacecraft. It's like little tiny, like, because the
Like
seats,
little people.
well, the seats were really small.
Mhm.
So his assumption was that it wasn't an alien. It was they built like a robot to go in there. So if it crashes and something gets fucked up, none
don't
of their
worry
people,
about it.
nobody dies.
Yeah.
But they have full control over it. You know what I mean?
Wow.
Because the
Yeah.
seats were for somebody that is like a kid.
Real, they could
Yeah.
be small.
You'll see it when you watch it.
What if the terrestrials were small? They could be small little, like little like what's the guy? The guy from Mars? No. Yeah, Marvin Martian. Yeah.
Yeah, but you put a robot in there so you don't get whacked.
Yeah.
You know, and if you can control it, and then they start talking about the game simulation, Rob will like that because I question that very.
I feel like those
thoroughly.
things from the Black Mirror episodes are starting to come true too.
What's that?
You should watch Black Mirror.
Black
Oh
Mirror?
yeah, you gotta watch Black Mirror.
You ever
Like,
see that? What's that one about?
Oh, every single episode's different. It's about technology in the future and how it can go wrong. Oh, you gotta watch all of them.
That's on Netflix.
Oh yeah, it's pretty badass. Yeah, you'll like that shit.
Yeah.
Every episode's different,
Conspiracy or like real shit?
like real shit.
Really?
Yeah, it's pretty dope shit. Yeah, it's really cool. You guys gotta check that out.
Fuck.
And every episode it's a 1 hour long. Like, think of it as like a short film, and like one of them is like it's called Archangel, and like the girl goes missing in the beginning. So there's like this chip that they put in over the girl's lens, and the mom can pretty much see what the daughter's seeing through the eyes, and it's like hooked up to like an iPad. The daughter doesn't know because the daughter goes missing when she's young, so that's why the mom gets it, so she can see wherever her daughter is or whatever. You know what I mean? And it worked the first time because the grandpa went into like shock, and the grandpa was watching the daughter, and the mom was at work, so she saw right through the daughter's eyes what was happening because the daughter's blood was racing, and her mom got a text through her phone saying about it. She's like, "What the heck? Let me check in." So she checks in, and she sees like the grandpa on the grass. She calls 911, like helps. So it's like it starts off good, and then it's always there. So one, if she doesn't want to see her daughter see bad images, like she could blur them out from her vision. So she'd be like seeing a scary dog like walk by when she started walking to school by herself. It would mute the muzzled noise of the dog bark, and it would blur the dog out. So it wouldn't be as scary, and it would be that. She sees a fight at school. The kids go blurry in front of her. She starts to see blood out of a kid. The blood goes blurry. So now it starts to go bad. She starts to draw like cartoons, and like she wants to know what her blood looks like because it blurs it out because it's too graphic for her. So like the mom has it on like a parental control. So the daughter, like, she starts to like draw like little cartoon stick figures of like the blood coming out, and they blur it out on like it goes through blurring in her actual thing. So she starts going crazy, like, because she's like everything's being blurred out of your life. You don't even know what it is. You know what I mean? She like takes like a pencil in her arm and like starts to cut like her hand because she's like interested. Yeah. So it starts bleeding, and then like her mom gets that message that like she's in pain or whatever, and she like comes to see her at like 11 years old, like cutting herself like to see the blood. So she turns it off like years later, and then she starts this is just one random
And
episode.
this is real shit.
Not real, it's just in the future. You know what I mean?
Like
things have happened, things that can happen. Yeah.
So it's their evaluation of what might happen in the future type thing.
Yes, of future type things. Yeah, and then so like it keeps going on. You know what I mean? And then whatever it is, like it ended up her daughter leaving her mom forever because her mom kept jumping in. Like she'd lie about going to a party, right? Her mom would figure out that she was going to a party by looking through her eyes. You know what I mean? And like it just kept getting to that
real
point
weird, crazy
where the
shit.
daughter like broke the iPad thing so she could never see again. She like just left, and that's a crazy one. You know what I mean? Another one's like there's so many different crazy, like, and every episode is different from the last episode. None of them are the same. So like another one's a different technology of you can pull back like any memory that you've ever had. You know what I mean? Like it's
So they're just predicting the future.
oh, just random things. Yeah, but it's cool. It's really
Yeah.
badass. It goes really deep too. Like Black Mirror.
Black Mirror.
And every episode is different. It's all 1 hour short stories.
Watch
and
Lazar first.
I'm gonna watch Lazar.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I'm gonna watch Lazar.
I'm telling
That's
you.
for sure.
I'm telling you, you'll both be
I
texting.
like that Lazar. That's for
Yeah.
sure. I like that a lot.
And he was on Rogan for 3 hours.
Oh, okay.
That's really good.
Okay.
And he really got into it on there.
Rogan did it pretty well with him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know,
Okay.
he's heavily into that shit.
Yeah,
you
Rogan
know?
likes all that.
Yeah, and the guy that directed it was in with him, and you know he kept jumping in, and you know let Bob talk.
Yeah.
You directed the documentary, but nobody cares about you, pal.
Yeah.
You know we want to see Bob. We want to know what Bob
Yeah.
has to say, and he kept, and you could see like toward the middle and like at parts, Rogan would be like, "Let him talk."
Okay.
Like
yeah.
I want to. You weren't there. You
Yeah.
just wrote the shit and made it wait. When you
Be happy he's on the show with them.
yeah.
Yeah, to be allowed to to even be
When you
in that
watch it,
same-
the first like 10 minutes is so fucking dramatic. It's like, let's get to the fucking juice. You know, he's a documentary guy, you know, California, whatever. And he the first 10 minutes or 7 minutes
of this right here.
yeah,
or
it's like drug out, like building up the
Yeah.
the drama.
it's a
you
Netflix
know?
series. They got to make some
Yeah,
money
like
somehow,
the guy's
you know what I
voice
mean?
echoes and shit. And you're like, when the fuck is this gonna start? And then finally, like 10 minutes in, it says Bob Lazar, Area 51, flying saucers. Now we get into the good shit.
All right.
Yeah, but I mean, he really drugged that fucking shit out for the first 10 minutes. I was like, damn. Like, because if you don't know and you didn't see it on Rogan, you're like, the fuck is this guy talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's just going on and with this deep
I can't believe it's
push.
from 2018. I've never seen it. With the shit that's probably why the intro is so shitty. They put that thing down there.
Yeah, but I bet you that you got a gazillion views when
Yeah,
went on Rogan.
Yeah.
You should watch this and then watch him on Rogan,
Okay.
and you'll really, there's no question.
Yeah.
Because, again, he's got no papers, no nothing, and he says the exact same thing on Rogan in 2020 that he said in 18 in this, that he said in 1986.
Yeah, that's the
word
same
by
always.
word.
Yeah.
So that tells me that he's not full of shit, you know. But, I mean, fuck. Watch that and let me know what you think, and then we'll talk about it next time. Rob,
Okay.
you going to watch that tonight?
Yeah, we'll all watch it tonight.
Yeah. And then I saw on Unbox Therapy. You ever watch Lou Later?
No, I don't
Shout
know
out
what
to
that
Lou
is.
Later. I like that.
I don't even know
Unbox
what
Therapy?
that is. No.
He gets like new devices, like the phones, like the day they come
Okay.
out, and he'll unbox them. Remember we were watching the shoes? And like all kinds of shit. And he unboxes it for the first time and shows you how it works and everything like that. And they had virtual glasses on,
Okay.
but like the real shit. That I forget who made them, but they went around. They looked goofy, but the peripheral was so insane that
So it's wherever you look is where the
like
virtual's going.
yeah, like so you're
Yeah.
sitting here and like everything's right there. Like it really fucks you up, you know. And you can program it.
I wanted to get that with the Xbox. It's like the Oculus or whatever. It looks pretty dope. Yeah.
Why is that PlayStation 5 selling like 10 times more than the Xbox?
I have no clue. I have no clue.
Do you know?
Something with PlayStation, they got a boost or something. I have no clue.
'Cause,
it
like-
doesn't make sense.
Because PlayStation was like half dead.
They're worth like $1,000. People are selling them for $1,500. Like
you
it's
can't
crazy.
get them. They can't make them fast
I
enough.
know.
So you're an Xbox guy then?
Yeah, I'm PC. Yeah,
But I don't understand how PlayStation just popped up and just beat the brains out of Xbox.
I don't understand either. Yeah, I really don't understand all that. I stopped getting into all of it once I got a PC. Once I got into a PC, I was like, wow, this blows all of them out of the water. Regardless, like every person should have a desktop. If you're gonna, at this point now, with how expensive they are, you might as well just get a PC. Like it's cheap. Like, I mean, you're getting up to $1,000 for a game console, and then you go to a PC, and the speed of it is just insane.
It's way quicker.
Oh my gosh! I went to Xbox one time to play with my friends, and I was like, I can't do this. It was just.
You can build onto it, right, with the RAM and all that stuff.
Yeah, you can. Like I can. Once it's there, you can just take out new parts, put in a whole new one, and upgrade the processor drive, and just buy that alone, and just put it back into it. It's
Now, can you still talk to your friends? And,
yeah,
and do all
everything, all through Xbox too. Like most of the Xbox games, I can play on my PC.
That's
Wow.
what all the kids are doing, like my kid.
Yeah.
He has one of those computers, but
That? Wow. So now, so then you just buy the game. You don't buy the console.
No.
What's
I buy
what's
game.
the new Xbox called? What's it called? What's the new one
I
called?
don't even know what it's called.
One?
Xbox
One.
Companion or something. I don't know.
But the PlayStation 5, that's like 500, but it's
Selling
like
for like $1,000.
because you can't get them.
No.
Yeah.
One, I think the factories are shut down, so it's making it harder to find anything because they have to put those certain graphic card chips in there, which if everything's shut down, it's harder to make them, which is harder to put them in. So now it's a shortage of supply, which they're probably also doing it too because of they can make more money off of
Yeah,
it.
they build
Like,
up suspense. Like,
yeah.
oh man, we can't get our hands on this. There's no
and
way.
people
All of a
want it
sudden,
so bad that they're like, oh, we'll just keep a little bit of them, and we'll sell a little bit of them, and
Yeah.
let the price drive up. Then we'll sell a little bit more. Then we'll sell a little bit more. Then when the hype dies down, then we'll release more of them.
Why did Apple take that one game off the App Store? Do you know what I'm talking about?
You mean the Parlor app?
No, they took a game off.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know a game.
Oh, fuck. Yeah. They took. I thought you would know, but yeah, that PlayStation. Yeah. So Unbox Therapy, they get all the new stuff. He had 1,000 iPhones and opened up one by one.
Oh, they
And,
kicked Fortnite off of it.
Fortnite, yeah.
Because Apple wanted a percentage of Fortnite's things for downloading the game.
Is
and
that
they
what
said
it
no.
was?
Yeah.
Because they take what? They take 30%.
Yeah, they wanted to, and they're just like, all right, we'll just go through our games now. Because you can play Fortnite on your phone, and a lot of kids do, which they're like, Apple's like, if you're using that and making all this money, but we want some of the downloads. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? If
But
it's a free
I
game,
can guarantee you that it's not as good on the browser as it is
no,
on
it's
the
terrible.
app.
It's terrible on your phone. It's
They'll
terrible.
break. They'll break. They need them because so what? They give them 30%. It's a video game.
Yeah.
I mean, so they're making 70%. They're just playing hardball. They'll go
Yeah,
back to it.
That's about it.
I mean,
It's all
there's no
money
way.
at the end of the day.
It's
Yeah.
all money.
All percentages of what they want.
And then that new iPad's coming
Like some of the
out,
rappers
and-
who create dance moves, they wanted money for Fortnite using their dance moves in the thing because you have to pay for that dance move. So they're like, pay us our money for it
Oh,
if you're
the
going to trade one.
Carlton?
Yeah, they have every dance move in there.
He
Like,
was like suing. Carlton was suing.
Yeah.
They used his dance.
Well, they should.
yeah,
Right?
it's his trademark. You know what I mean? He should get paid for every person.
So they're making $1 gazillion, but they don't want to
So-
kick to anybody.
No, no.
Well,
There's another guy who's like who invented the Millie Rock was like that. You literally named, and they have the song beat almost to it too, which was he was suing about. He's like, you're using my beat, my move, and everything. You're not even paying me a percentage, or even asked me to use it.
well, you know what they'll do if they don't go back to Apple? Somebody else will just develop one that's
Yeah.
exactly the same and be on the
Yeah.
App Store and make a fucking shit ton.
It's the greatest concept though because Fortnite they take and you buy skins. You can buy.
And they make them so cool that they just make the kids want them. So I want this cool one. It looks dope.
So
Like,
you have the video game and then it's free, right?
yeah, it's free.
And you're just buying shit. Like,
Yeah.
And parents.
I've spent a decent amount of money on. I spent over $100 on Fortnite. I'm not
Did
gonna
it?
lie. Oh yeah.
Well, you want it's
Me and all my boys
never
would be like,
even
"Yo,
played
let's
it.
buy this skin, bro. We'd buy it."
I said no anymore. They want this V-Bucks, right? They want
V-Bucks,
those.
yep.
Like,
And
no
they're
way.
expensive.
And what it's
And
a
they
gun
have
game, right?
they have a battle pass every 90 days or whatever, which is like $10, $12 each. But when you go through, as you level up, you get things like, so it entices you to want to buy it so you can get the cool things that are dropped in the battle pass. And it goes up to like 100 levels. You get characters. They give you V-Bucks in it. They give you dance moves in it. And then on top of that, they have a store of specifically sold items that aren't allowed in the battle pass. And then they change per day of different skins that come out per day. It's insane.
Yeah.
Oh, it's the smartest free game possible ever. And now
Great.
every game is now trying to do a battle pass because instead of paying one time for the $60, we'll just do it for a free game. But when you want the battle pass because of all the incentives that are inside of it, that it makes you
Right.
keep paying
Right.
the
So
$10.
right. So here's the game for free, but if you want the Battle Pass 10, it's a gun game, right? I never played.
yeah,
it. If
and-
you want this gun,
But if you
10.
get the battle pass 4 times, and the Fortnite's been out for like 3 years now, you already had $120 just in the battle pass alone. Not to mention if you even bought a skin on top of that.
and what's the skin
Skins are like different like outfits that you can wear as you're fighting in the game.
price? You got to pay for that too.
Yeah, every per skin.
Wow.
Every skin's like some skins are $20 for one. $20 for a
Greed.
skin. Yeah.
Greed. And you know what? The greed is gonna fuck them.
No, it's winning them.
Well,
Like,
right now, but I'm
Oh,
saying,
yeah.
Because Apple has that ecosystem.
But you don't have to play on just Apple. It's just for the phone game. Fortnite is the same thing, but Fortnite's on Xbox, PS5, PC, everything. So it's just Apple being greedy.
But they're gonna want Apple. Imagine
No,
how
they
much
don't.
money.
No, they're not.
You don't
They
think
don't
so?
care about Apple. No. They got everybody on all the video games. They're just losing out on the ones that are playing on the phone, that's not even a big percentage of people. At
No.
all. No, they're
I
on.
don't know. The whole
Fortnite's
game
on
thing.
every single Nintendo, Switch, PC, Xbox. Apple's the dumb one. in that.
Switch is a thing where you can make money playing video games, right? Twitch
On every video game. Twitch.
Twitch is the one.
Yeah.
Is that hard to make money with?
You have to have a lot of streamers, yeah. It's like starting with this. You know what I mean?
Alright.
Like you got to start up and you have to have, say, certain amount of views, you know what I mean? And then be consistent with it, and then people will donate money to you if they like you.
The game
I know.
Like some sports stars.
The sports stars now look up to the gamers to want to play video games with
Ninja,
them.
there's a guy named Ninja or something. You're like,
I played craps with him in Vegas last year.
Ninja?
Yeah.
My kids always thought about this Ninja guy. I'm like, who the
Yeah, I got a
fuck?
picture with him. I was playing craps with him, and he was in Vegas for the fight, for the Cerrone fight, and I was there, and I was walking past the table, and I started playing with him. Him, it was Tim the Tap Man.
See, I would know
I
these
was
guys.
gambling. I knew every single one of them, and I was playing with all of them.
See,
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
See what he looks like. Ninja.
Yeah, because you know what? He said something to.
He's made so much money.
Somebody said something about him. I don't know who it was, and he put a.
He has his own character he has his own skin in the game.
This
Him?
That's him, yeah.
this is the guy.
Like this?
Yeah, that's Ninja.
No offense to Ninja, but
He's making millions and millions and millions.
crazy.
Like 10 million, like probably at least 10, 15 million a year.
Damn.
Minimum. He got a $30 million to switch over from Twitch to Mixer, which was Microsoft's. Microsoft gave him a $30 million deal to switch and stop going on that platform. Then they ended the Mixer platform, so he's still got to keep the $30 million and then go back to Twitch and grab all of his followers back.
It amazes me. I don't get it, but they
People will be sitting there watching him, and you'll see a donation come through for $5,000. Someone will just give him $5,000
For what?
for playing the video game because they don't want to watch TV. They'll just watch him play video games, but they'll donate money. Oh, you get a good kill? Here you go. Here's $5.
They give him 500. They give him $5,000 just to
Just
play video
it's just a random person watching like you.
Yeah.
So he has say 100,000 people watching. People will be like, they like the video or him playing the game live. Oh,
But
here's
like, boom,
$5.
five.
Here's
it adds
$5.
up.
Yeah, and it adds up. The $700,000, $800,000 in donations every day.
don't they do like if like you'll say like give me a shout out, so he might say like hey whatever your screen name
Yeah,
is.
and shout you out for $100.
Is he that fucking good?
He's good. He's not the best, but he has he was the person who started all of it. Like he was the one who got on with Drake and Juju Smith-Schuster and Travis Scott, and then that was when it all started blowing up big time.
And
Like
what's
there's
this
other
guy's
people.
name? Ninja.
Ninja, yeah.
Ninja. And
He was
this
like the
is-
first one to do all the trick shots for all and made it like cool. Like, and that's what followed, and he just ran with it.
And he's Ninja, and he uses what is it? Switch or Twitch?
Twitch.
Twitch. All right, we'll watch that Bob Lazar movie.
Sure
and
will.
Rob.
Tonight.
And then we'll come back in and we'll
All
talk
right.
about it again.
Sounds good, man.
We stayed away from the fucking politics, fucking
That politics this
conspiracy.
time.
I didn't keep you here for 3 hours.
No, not this time.
All right, man. Thank
All
you
right,
for
man.
coming in.
Thanks for having me, buddy.
Thanks for day one.